www.acfl.net. Follow us on Twitter at ACFL Football. Follow us on Instagram at ACFL_Atlantic Coast Football. Welcome to another edition of Throwdown Thursday on a Wednesday tonight, everybody. Just to let everybody know, we're doing it today on a Wednesday due to the fact that I will not be here tomorrow, and I'm going on vacation with wifey, man. We're going to go to Gettysburg and get some American history on this weekend. So in the meantime, please welcome my co-host and cohort, Jim Flanagan. Jim, what's going on, bro?
That's right, John. It's a Wednesday. It's a different day, man, but same show, same attitude, man, same type of stuff here. It's still the Throwdown, fellas, even though it's Wednesday. It does not matter. We're on actually 15 minutes earlier, which is great. I appreciate you coming on, Giant. I know you got a big week coming up and stuff. ACFL, man, ACFL.net. It was Mother's Day weekend, man. It was not the prettiest weeks, John.
It was a slaughter. It was an absolute slaughter. And before we start getting into the games, guys, just want to rehash on this on the website itself, acfl.net. We've been pounding the gong constantly about this, about changing over the website, upgrading it and everything. And I personally feel that we're almost there. We're getting more info to upload this new interface onto the website. Just one little step. So we appreciate you guys know who you are. And JT, please whisper in somebody's ear over here to get Flanny and the rest of the guys for the website the information that is needed so we could put a new interface. How important is this, Jim Flanagan?
Giant, I can't freaking wait, man. I'm dying over here, man. I'm praying when the day comes because we got a lot of stuff, man, that we could do with this once that's done. And, it's almost like being handicapped here, man. You can't update this. You can't get this stuff done. Guys seen the videos, man. They've seen the Throwdown show. They know what we could do with the league. Let us update that site, man. Let us bring new technology, new stuff, man. Instant scores, instant inputs on there, not this long wait, Let's get the videos out there, So I'm just waiting, Giant. I'm praying. We'll get in there. We're getting there. I mean,
all right.
Slowly but surely, I guess.
While I'm at church and really praying, you could pray to whoever you pray to when you do, Flanny. Let's move along to this past murderous Mother's Day with absolutely horrendous weather, Jim Flanagan. I haven't seen rain that bad possibly since Hurricane Sandy. I mean, it was just nonstop all fucking day.
Yeah, the weather was crazy. It couldn't get me out there, Giant. I'm sorry, man. I could not go film these games. God bless for the guys that did play this Sunday. And the wind, the wind factor too. It wasn't just the rain, On top of that was Mother's Day, and wasn't pretty, Giant. A lot of teams couldn't get a lot of their squad guys out there and stuff, So, there was a couple, I think, forfeits on here, a couple upsets because, players not being there. It was just, and then just the weather itself making the games, a factor on here as well. All that going on this Sunday was, but we got it done. We got it played. The positive is we didn't have to miss a whole week. Which means the season is not going to be pushed on to be go towards that summer. Because a lot of guys don't want that. They want to end the season before the summer comes because then it's very difficult. So it's great we got these turf fields because otherwise, I don't know how these games would have been played. God bless to the guys in Rahway, man. That must have been I can't imagine.
Okay, and so let's move along.
I think we did get one game on film, though. Yes, we did actually.
Yeah. So shout out to whoever got that game on film, and shout out to the teams that actually fielded one. The fact that just being on Mother's Day alone is very tough, but then you take the you take the shitty ass weather that we had too. I mean, that's just a double whammy. Flanny, you said you couldn't get out there, and how could you blame? I mean, all the stuff that you do for the league, man. People get upset, maybe, but you know what? They need to build a bridge and get over it because there's always this weekend. There's always the weekend after as well. So let's move along.
I mean, we did get one film, but it's not the prettiest. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah, but you got to do what you got to do. You know, I mean, we've been begging guys to grab their phone, hold it in the landscape, and hold it in landscape to just get something out there. That's all.
Yeah. Even Michael Bennett out there in the chat. Shout out to the guy, man. Always a great supporter of the show. He said the weather was crazy as well. And he did mention also about the site, man. We need to jump into the future with the website. I can't agree anymore with that, you know. I mean, listen, I mean, there's been posts on the board saying, you know, how long do we got to wait just for get the standings updated, you know, 3-4 weeks just because the guy's not there and just everything's got to be manually. That all could be changed easily, simple. You know, a guy enters the score, it's inputted, and that's that, you know what I mean? And we could do that, but I need that access to do so to make these changes. But we're moving towards that direction. Hopefully it's sooner than later. Hopefully, you know, we will get this maybe by playoff time. Who knows?
All right. So let's move along. Let's move along to some of the recaps and go over some of these games. Game of the week, which should have been, we're going to start off in the ACFL South, which should have been the game of the week. 2 undefeated teams, Field Mob versus the Rebels, and a sad, pathetic no-show here by the Rebels, and Field Mob ends up still being undefeated, and they still remain, you know, they remain the only undefeated team in the South. And my understanding is if you have a no-show, that the no-show team is responsible for the referee fees for both of the teams' referees fees. Is that correct, Flanny?
Yeah, listen, man, there's ways to handle this. I mean, but if it's a no-show, no call, just don't flat out show up, or guys don't show up, you know, you can't penalize the other team that made it, that came out there, and they now are not being able to play. So, yeah, and so, you know, with this Rebels team, they're 3-0 into the season. They've only played 3 games, but availability, man, that's where this is going to hurt this team. I've heard it's worse than it even looks, man. And it's not just this loss here. Can the Rebels even field the team for the rest of the season? That's what the question, you know?
Yeah, very concerning. So, I mean, it makes you wonder. I mean, are they going to completely drop out of the ACFL South over here at some point?
It'll be disappointing, man. Be disappointed because, like I said, I had high hopes for these guys, man. I mean, they got great talent out there.
Yeah, I hope they get it together.
In the league, man, in that whole ACFL South, tremendous quarterback. You know, they're 3-0. They haven't lost a game played. You know, so for that to happen, it just, you know. But we MLB came on the show. He's saying about, you know, calm down on the drama and all this. Listen, there's a lot of drama circling that of TJ, and this happened. This ain't something new, man. This ain't something new. You know, it's haunted him and the team in the past, and here we go again, man. Here we go. Who knows, man?
It's unbelievable, man.
Yeah, we got Courtney in the chat saying
I hope
they didn't want to play in the rain, man. I don't know.
Again, I hope the absolute best for the Rebels over here. I hope they could get their shit together and they could field the team. There's only like 3 more weeks, guys. We got off for Memorial Day weekend, so that's the unofficial beginning of summer. And we know, you guys know it's right around the corner when there's only usually around 3 games left for the regular season. You know, we don't for the spring league here. We don't want to go too far into the unofficial summer season, Flanny.
Hey, John, it's Mother's Day. It's pouring like crazy, horrible weather, and you've got to play Field Mob that day. You know, guys wanted to stay home, man. Maybe he's right. Big Corny right there, man. They didn't want to play in the rain. I don't know.
I hear you. I want to give a big shout out to everybody in the chat as well tonight. You know, this was unexpected. We didn't give a lot of time to everybody to let them know we were going to end up doing it on Wednesday. And so we appreciate everybody who's tuning in to us tonight. We're going to move along to the next game for the ACFL South, and the Jokers absolutely annihilating the winless Wolverines, 41-0 the final. What can you say over here other than that the Jokers just smoked the Wolverines? Wolverines got to do something desperate to try to get some offense or some pick six over here, some pick sixes.
Giant, the Jokers, like you said in the past weeks, simply the best. And I agree with that comment now, man. I mean, 41-0 in the rain, man. In this predicament on here, put up that many points. I think the Joker's already, man. They've only lost that one game against Field Mob on here. They've had 2 byes already, so they're going to be playing some double headers. We know that for sure. Big matchup for them here this week, depending if the Rebels even shows up. But 41-0 Giant, simply the best. Nothing more I can say about that.
Yeah, and here's the upset of the week. And, Flanny and I said last week we have no faith in Ozone, and rightfully so. They have shown nothing over the past few weeks to show that they are an elite team. They are anything but elite. I mean, I just don't know what to say. And the 6, congratulations to the 6, defeating Ozone 25-12 the final. Some of my memory, I don't have all the notes on this, but if my memory serves correct, is that Ozone ended up getting 2 pick sixes in this game. And in addition to that, Ozone only got 1 offensive touchdown. Is that right, Flanny?
Only 1 offensive touchdown, yeah.
Okay, so they got a defensive touchdown, Ozone. All right. Dude, unmute yourself. Flanny, unmute yourself.
Yeah. So it was just one offensive score there for the Ozone team, man. The other one was a pick 6, yeah.
Okay. All right, so, I mean, you see it's absolutely pathetic what Ozone has become. They need to do something, but it looks like they're absolutely free-falling right now.
Can I add to this game, Giant? I mean, this game, here's the 6 came late to this game, man. They came late where –
oh, with only 5 guys, too. That's right.
They only had 5 guys. Not only
I remember that from the notes, too.
They lost the where basically they lose out on getting the ball in both the first half and the second half. So that means Ozone had the ball to start both halves on here, and they started the game against 5, and they couldn't move the ball. First 2 drives, they still could not move the ball even against 5 guys. And I told you guys last week, this team struggles against a good defensive team, and this just proved it with even just 5 guys on the field. They did so. They did come back a bit. They did have a pick 6 of their own, but then at the end, down a touchdown. What happens? They try to tie it up. It doesn't happen, man. Pick 6 the other way. And the 6 come out with a 2-score lead here. Win by 2 touchdowns, man. So
yeah, congratulations to the 6 on their second W of the season. All right, let's move along to our predictions. And I mean, these games are not going to be this 10-yard fight, 1-3 versus the winless Wolverines, 0-5. Not much of a competition over here. You're just hoping that the Wolverine could score some points, man. But 10-yard fight, they got a decent defense, so I don't know. Final, I like the final being 28-7 on this, Flanny. Maybe they'll score a touchdown.
Yeah. I forget what the Instagram had on this one, but
28-14, 10-yard fight. Yeah.
Listen, if Wolverines are looking to get any type of win here this season, this is the week, man. They got.
Doesn't matter. They're fielding a team though. They're not pulling the Rebels. So.
No, they're not, man. They're definitely not. But one thing here about 10-yard fight, they haven't played for quite some time. They had a bye. They had a rescheduled game. They're at 1-3 there, so they haven't played in maybe 2-3 weeks, man. You had Easter as well. Will that be a factor on here? We'll see. I mean, I'm rooting for the Wolverines, man. I'm rooting for you guys, man. Get this win here. I think it's going to be a close game, man. I think definitely could be a close game on here between these two, both veteran teams. They must have played like 1,000 times against each other. So, but I don't know. I mean, they got to show something first, Giant. I mean, they had some close games back and forth here, man, but I'm taking a 10-yard fight, maybe by 1 or 2 score.
All right, next matchup we got undefeated Field Mob versus the 6, who is currently 2-3, and I think this is going to be a pretty good game. And I mean, you said the 6 got pretty good defense, man. I think it's going to be a lot closer than the prediction on Instagram, and I'm going to say that. Field Mob will take this, but they're going to win by the lick of a chin over here, 21-20, the final I got on this.
Yeah. I mean, listen, 6, these guys actually matched up week 1 of the season, As the 6, actually, so far, I feel has given Field Mop the closest game there so far, man, in trying to win. But here's the thing, man. They come with 5 guys here this game, Giant. It ain't gonna happen, man. You ain't playing ozone here, or you're gonna win it with 5 guys. So they come here. They need at least 6 on there, if more. But the quarterback's playing great, man. For the 6, he's doing. I mean, he got picked one time there to the house last week, but Field Mop is just. I mean, the last couple of weeks. You look at this team. And you can't go against them right now, man. 6.
No, you can't. You can't. Even though one of those W's was just a DQ, you can't. You can't go against them at this point.
It'll be 7-0 to this week, man.
Yeah, no question. And what should be the game of the week, and hopefully the
Rebels. We get a game. There is a.
Yeah. So hopefully they can get their shit together and field a team this Sunday. And I took a look at the weather. There's only a 40% chance of rain on Sunday. It's supposed to be 77 degrees. If this is a morning game, that means it's going to be a little bit cooler at that time, maybe 60-something degrees. Sounds like perfect weather. Partly sunny, so the sun isn't going to be baking all over you and shit too. So it should be fantastic weather for this Sunday. And I hope and pray this indeed will be one of the games of the week, definitely for the South. And I think this is going to be a shootout as well. And I like this prediction over here on Instagram, and I'll go with that 38-35 Jokers, Flanny.
Yeah, both of them 3-1 here. Good record here for both squads.
Yeah, Jokers lost against Field Mob. That's the only loss. That's the Rebels only lost too, but it was by
Rebels beat the Jokers early in the season. So, but I think it's redemption time here for the Jokers. The way they looked last week, man. I mean,
yeah, thorough shellacking. It's absolutely.
There's just too many issues going on with the Rebels right now, man. So I'm going Jokers. I like the pick there too, man. I don't know about this otherwise, but yeah.
All right, so let's move along to the ACFL 6 versus 6 North. Devenio versus Wild Breed ended up rescheduling this. Now, here's the thing: they don't have. Both teams called ahead of time. They agreed to a reschedule for this upcoming week, and a good choice by these teams. If you're able to do that and reach out in time to JT, and he's able to reach out to the refs, that this is possible, Flanny. So shout out to both of these teams for getting it together, for being able to do a reschedule. Now, they're going to have to do a doubleheader one Sunday.
This week, yeah.
Yeah, they're going to have to do a doubleheader, but at least they get the game in likely what should be much better weather than this past Sunday.
Mm-hmm. Agree, definitely, man.
All right, now, sadly, this is what we're going through. So now All-Stars win by forfeit versus Pace Trucking, Dirt Demons. Pace showed up. It could have been their best chance to pull up the offset, because All-Stars did not have Titano this week.
Right, quarterback not there. I think he was in Disney World or whatnot. So if you're going to play the All-Stars on here, this was the week to play them to pull that upset. So if Pace was looking for a big win here, they should have showed up, man. They should have came to this game here. They did not. As a result, All-Star win by default.
All right, and the snooze fest we're going to go over next is the Cobras absolutely shellacking in the putrid rain, 46-13 final versus the Bankers. Not much to say. Sadly, the Bankers only fielded 5 guys, and their struggles continue with injuries. 0-6 on the season. If they could just get a couple more bodies on the team, Flanny, maybe their luck could change just a little bit.
So many injuries, so many guys showing up too, man. 5 guys there against a Cobras team. Good luck, man. But a much better squad in the 8 man, though. I'll give them that, man. But in the 6 man, they don't got the same squad. They don't got the line that you have in the 8 man. So with key guys not there, Rojas, out for the season. Achilles gone, man. So playing with 5 ain't gonna get you to win.
All right, and this one I forgot the notes on it. Bruins end up thoroughly, winning by 2 scores here against the Savages, 34-20, Flanny.
Yeah, Bruins back on the win streak here, man, and they needed this win.
Dangerous team. Yeah, they needed this W. They got it. Pretty dangerous team, in my opinion. 4-2 after this nice W by them. Point differential for the season after this game, plus 25. So, I mean, their defense needs a little bit of help, but in their last 5, they are 3-2. So that's not too shabby, man. They are winning again, Flanny.
Yeah, and the defense definitely showed up this week, man. So they did a great job against the Savages there. And AJ played a great game, man. AJ played a great ball there. He did a great dump of passes there to Kornacki. And even with the rain and the bad weather, he still delivered a nice deep ball pass, man. One of the receivers, I believe Jeremy, his name is. Great deep ball there still in the rain. So.
All right, and the game of the week was for the ACFL 6 vs. 6 in the North was indeed the game of the week, 39-32 Goonies final, and the Goonies without quarterback Mike Vick and Red, who arrived late for this game. Fortunately, as soon as Mike Vick came in, he tied the game up, and the Goonies took the lead at the half, but the Bears bounced back. And with such poor weather conditions, you know these quarterbacks are not only going to be making some eggs, but they're going to be scrambling a lot over here as well. Because of that wet weather, you just can't throw as much as you used to. So they're on the loose. And the Goonies, just like the Savages prior week, could not find a way to stop Dan the Man Brown. Flanny, what a game this likely was.
Couldn't have said any better. And this is the game we have some type of film on here. I'll do some editing tonight on it. But yeah, you mentioned Vic coming in there late. I think that hurt, because that was a drive that went 3 and out. They punted the ball, and who knows if they could got that score, because it was a back and forth game here. And then we seen what Dan did against the Savages on here, where he took off not only through the air, but he beat them on the ground as well. And he did so here, man. Dan the man. All
right, congrats to the Goonies.
To
the Bears, excuse me. Congrats to the Bears. And number 2 this season, number 2 tied for number 2 in the standings with the Cobras, man. Very healthy teams. Definitely top 3 in the league. And outstanding stats over here. So congrats to the Bears. But shout out to the Goonies for making a run at this, man. Just some tough losses this season.
Yeah, agree, man.
All right, so we're gonna do predictions for this for the upcoming week. We got the Savages 3-3 versus the Goonies 3-3, and I like the Goonies, man. They are hot, man. Savages, they just don't have it, man. They don't have enough oomph over there, in my opinion. I don't think it's gonna be as high a scoring game as they describe over here. I'm going to take the Goonies. I'm going to say they're going to win it 23-20 the final, Flanny.
Yeah. Both teams looking to break that 500, 3-3 here. But, yeah, I love the Goonies too, man. They had a lot of tough battles that they came out on the losing end here. But I think they get the win here against the Savages.
All right. And we got the Bruins versus the Venio. And once again, we just want to let everybody know, whoever handles the Instagram account, they are a member of the Bruins team, so they do not want karma. I guess they're superstitious or whatever, and that's fine, because that's what Flanny and I are here for. And I don't think Devenio has much chance.
No, man, I hate that, man. You got to put the score in,
Yeah,
karma.
Yeah, but I mean, this is a pretty easy one to predict, man.
I think you should put for this one, man.
Yeah, so Devenio, I think they got their 2 W's against the 2 worst leagues in the team. But shout out to Devenio. They're here in, week out. And I think the Bruins are going to get an easy W over here. And I think the final is going to be 31-14, Flanny. Easily going to win.
Like the Bruins here as well, man. And Devenio has a doubleheader this week. So that factors in as well. But I love the Bruins, man. They look good against the Savages. Continue here. Devenio, man. Up and down team, man. So, and this week's going to be a down week.
All right. So next we got the 2 winless teams, Wild Breed 0-5 versus the Bankers 0-6. and this could be anybody's game. We got Instagram have it. They got Wild Breed winning 28-12. I don't know about that, man. I like the bankers in this one. Even if the Wild Breed, not too wild in my opinion over here. I think the bankers have a shot to get their first W over here, Flanny.
Yeah, they do. They do. Each team has a shot here, man. But I think it's going to be the Wild Breed. I like the breed coming out here. Bankers. Not only are they 0-6, but the roster issue, man. Showing up with 5, and it's not just this past week. They did so the prior week, so that's a concern here. I think Wild Breed finally gets the win that well deserved here on this team. I'm taking them. I'm taking the breed.
All right, next game we got the makeup game from the previous week. Wild Breed versus the Venio. And I like the Venio getting the W on this. Maybe Wild Breed will. Maybe they won't get their first W against the Bankers. I don't think they're going to get their second win from the Venio. And I think the Venio's got this game. And they'll win handedly 28-14, Flanny.
You know what? I usually hate taking a winless team on here, but I got a gut feeling here, man. Wild Breed gets the W. They win twice. 2 wins here this week, Giant. Against the Bankers, and they beat the Venio as well, man. So, and if they do that, man, that will help them out a lot in the standings. So, big week here for these guys if they can win both of them.
All right, and this next matchup it's going to be an absolute blowout. Cobras 5-1 versus the Pace Trucking Dirt Demons here, and I think it's going to be an absolute blowout. 35-7 is going to be my final for this one, Flanny.
Oh man, it was a disaster. Beginning of the season there for the Pace, and here come the Cobras. 5-1, 6-1 here after this week. No upset here.
All right, so the next game it absolutely should be the game of the week. Now here's a caveat: if Mike Vick gets here on time, man, for the Bears.
I think Dan Brown, man.
Dan Brown. Oh, I'm sorry. Whatchamacallit? Yeah, Dan the Man Brown over here for the Bears. He is a dangerous weapon, VP of the league at this point, and very dangerous against the All-Stars. I think they're gonna squeak this one out. I think they're gonna beat the All-Stars, Flanny. The numbers aren't as good as the All-Stars, but how much competition have the All-Stars had, man? So I think that the Bears will finally unseat the All-Stars over here and get the top spot over here in the league, man. How about you? I think the final is going to be 35-28.
Hope you're right, man. I hope you're right because I also like that pick, undefeated All-Stars, man, against the Bears. But Bears been playing some great ball, man. The Bears are doing their thing out there. You mentioned Brown on there, big factor. But I know the All-Stars are going to try to get back here, especially after that tough loss in the 8-man. They're gonna they're playing a tough game here, game of the week here for the North. But Taytano, I believe, should be back. Hopefully, yes, man. And otherwise, all out Bears here. But I'll go with the upset, Giant. I like your pick. I'm gonna roll with it.
All right, cool. All right, guys, let's move to the recaps for the 8-man flag. Uso, not surprisingly, absolutely destroyed the Monstars 26-6. Was the final on Mother's Day. And what else can we say? Monstars are a new team, trying to figure things out. They're still showing up here every week, man.
Yeah, good to see Uso put up some points this week, man. 26 of them, so that's a good sign here heading on to this week and a win that they needed here against the Monstars. You mentioned, new team in the league, still figuring things out, but this was a good win, man, here for the Uso because it wasn't just a slight victory here, 26-6, 20-point win here. That's good, man. That's good, especially from the prior week, man, especially against that Warriors team.
Right.
They looked horrendous.
All right, next matchup, not a surprise either. Warriors taking this one easily, 28-6, the final. And once again, Apex, another new team, still trying to figure it out, but still trying to show up. So shout out to the Warriors for the W. Shout out for the Apex Predators. Come out to the shit fest on Sunday.
Oh man, yeah. Listen, Warriors. I believe they're the #1 team right now. So especially when we get to the next game. But yeah, they continue to win. Only one loss so far here this season. That was against the All Stars. Only like a 2 or 3 point deficit in that one. But yeah, another team, Predators here. Both new teams here in those games. Giant. Tough, especially with the weather-wise and everything. Must have been, it's something that you got to get used to. Something you got to, adapt to. They haven't done so yet.
All right, and the Canes squeaking this one out 22-18 versus Smash Mouth. And this game was much closer than it should have been. I mean, the stats for the seasons on the Canes are absolutely stunning. So you take a look at this game, and Flanny, I mean, what else could you ask? Why was it so close? Why was it such a close game? And should the Canes be concerned for future matchups?
Why was it close? Was it the weather? I don't know. Was it Canes?
I don't know either.
Not showing up players. I don't want to go that route because last time I went there, I got shitted on, man, that, Canes' excuse of not having their players there. But, win's a win. They got it done here, 22-18. A lot closer than I thought, too, man, for the Canes. But, they get it whichever way possible, man. So I know they've had some difficulty times getting their guys on there, but what they haven't had difficult time is winning, and that's what they do, Giant.
All right, and this is probably the upset of the week, maybe the upset of the month. The Bankers winning against the All-Stars, and the All-Stars did not have Titano, and he was in Disney with the family, but I mean, you're called the All-Stars for a reason, man. And, I mean, you should not be losing this game. You should not only be scoring 7 points, and especially against the Bankers, who only had 2 wins before this W, man. Shout out to the Bankers. Stunning win. Man. And I think they are super pumped up after this W. No, Titano wasn't there, but it's still the All-Stars, Flanny. What the fuck happened over here?
I don't know what the Vegas line would have been on this game, Giant, man, but oh
crazy.
Man, we could have took the Bankers money line here. You'd be cleaning up the house. 18-7 is the final. Yeah, I mean, I've heard stuff on there. All Stars didn't have this guy. They didn't. Titano wasn't there. They got backup quarterbacks on that team. Don't tell me they don't, man. So, but look at this Bankers team. The thing is, you can't look at the Bankers and see the 0-6. 6-on-6 team, man, because the 8-man is a different team. And you look at their losses so far, they had like a 3 or 4 point loss to start the season against USO, Then they got that loss against the Warriors later on. They got 2 wins, 2 big wins, and now this one here, 3-3. Don't sleep on the Bankers. I mean, this is a team also that does upset teams in the playoffs, man. Just how they did it here this past week. They've known to upset teams. They got the players there, man. They got the linemen there. You mentioned no quarterback. What about the Bankers quarterback? What about those injuries that they're facing?
Sure.
I think that, it was more of the Bankers. I'm sure they were missing some of their guys on there as well, so you can't say that. I can't take this win again away from the Bankers, man. They came in here, 18-7 final. That's showing a statement there against the All-Stars, man, holding them to only 7 points and giving them the only loss. And this actually shakes up the 8-man here because, everybody's always talking about, it's going to come down to the Canes and the All-Stars, just like the prior season. It's either the Canes are going to win it, the All-Stars are going to win it. But you look at this now, man, All-Stars still got to play the Canes.
Dude, Warriors are out there too, man. Come on.
If the Warriors finish at the #1 spot, which could happen on here, right, that's going to change a lot of things, man, because if the Canes and All-Stars are #2 and #3, that means they're going to play prior to that. That means if the Warriors end up in the semifinals on here, they're not going to play the Canes or All-Stars until the championship. So we're going to get different teams in that finals, which will be great to see. I'm hoping, I'm rooting for the Warriors to stay at that #1 spot. And then also the Canes still, it's not happening this week, but I think next week it's got to be, they've got to play. Probably the last game of the season there. So, it is what it is. But for the Warriors, I think they still have, I don't know if they still got to play the Bulldogs or somebody big. I know that still left on their schedule. So,
all right, let's move on to our predictions over here, Flanny. We got the Canes 4-1 versus the Monstars 1-5. Not much you could say about this, man. Monstars will definitely show up. I like this prediction, and I think the Canes will definitely win 28-7 the final.
Yeah, I don't fall upside.
I'll give them the benefit of the doubt for making that close game because of the shitty weather. I'm gonna give them I think they'll win this game handily, Flanny.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of the matchups here this week, top teams against the bottom: Canes, Monstars, Warriors, Smash Mouth, Bulldogs, Apex Predators. I don't see any upsets here this week on any of those games, Giant, man. Going Canes, Warriors, Bulldogs, straight out. 3-team parlay.
I don't know, man. So we got the Warriors versus Smash Mouth. That's an easy victory for the Warriors. Bulldogs versus the Apex Predators. That's an easy victory. Go ahead.
Out of those 3 games, I think Smash Mouth could play the upset card on here.
Maybe.
Had a great game against the Canes there, man. So
they did, but they did. I mean, we'll see what happens. They might have a chance.
Well. Hey, the Warriors' offense did not look good the prior week either. So that game, I think Smash Mouth could possibly. I mean, out of those 3 games, but the other 2, man, Canes, Bulldogs. Bulldogs are hot right now, man. 3 and
they are hot indeed.
About the Bulldogs, man. So
yeah, and what should be the game of the week, we got the All Stars 4-1 versus USO 3-2. I think this is going to be a good game, man. I think this is a good game. I think USO has a chance. I think they got a chance for this game, but dude, it's hard to say. It's really hard to say. I mean, the All-Stars, they look so good, man. So I think I'm going to have to give the W's to the All-Stars, and I think this is going to be a squeaker, 28-27 the final, Flanny.
Yeah.
And the All-Stars will take it. It's just hard. You always like to see the underdog. I think a lot of people root for the underdog. It's going to be a tough game, man. The All-Stars are just so fucking good, man.
They are, man. They are.
It's hard to say,
But and I talked to a lot of guys too. I'm not going to mention any names, but I'm looking to film this game. I think this game would be great to film. But they're telling me it's going to be a blowout, man. They're like, Flanagan, don't waste your time here. All-Stars do so. All-Stars is going to walk over them, man. I don't think that, man. I think Uso's defense always keeps them in the games, man. So
yeah.
But I gotta agree with you, 10 here. I think the All-Stars do take this one as well. They ain't so happy, man, after that loss. Their undefeated streak was broken, man, last week. So they're gonna take it out on the Uso team here this week.
Yeah, I think that might indeed be the case. Anything else you got on your plate, Flanny?
What Michael Bennett says, he likes being the underdog. So hey, you got nothing to lose, man. They got nothing to lose coming in here. You know what I mean? So
amen to that.
Them to lose. So hey, so that's a plus factor there. So I'm rooting for you guys, man. I'll definitely be out there. I'm looking to get that game. There's actually a couple of games in Bayonne, and I might be able to get all 3 of these: the All-Stars Uso, the other game of the week, the Bears and All-Stars, and then I'll try to get one of those late games, either the Goonies and Savages or Wild Breed and Devenio, one of those. So I'll make up from last week. I didn't do any. I'll do 3 games. How's that, Giant Man? 3 games here, Phil. Plus my other guy that did the Bears and Goonies last week. I think he'll be over in Rahway. He'll be in Rahway. Hopefully we get the Jokers Rebels game to be played. If so, he'll get that. If not, he'll do the other 2 games. So we'll see.
All right, guys. That's all the time we got for tonight. Make sure you continue to check us out, www.acfl.net. Follow us on Twitter at ACFL Football. Follow us on Instagram at ACFL_Atlantic Coast Football. Jim Flanagan, Giant 918, signing out. Have a good week, everybody.